Dear Truth Seeker, welcome to our video. Our star system has a visitor which is called the Nemesis star system. The infrared star Nemesis is surrounded by different planets, comets, debris, brown and red dwarf stars. In this video we are offering you really proof of observations by many people. The 6th and 7th seals will be opened soon and are results of the passing of Nibiru. Enjoy the video, get informed and prepare.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Floodlights so far.
In the beginning, there was darkness, and then bang, giving birth to an endless expanding existence of time, space, and matter. Every day, new discoveries are unlocking the mysterious, the mind-blowing, the deadly secrets of a place we call the universe. Eclipses warn us of powerful solar storms that may fulfill an ancient prophecy of chaos on Earth.
People would freak out. We would have lights.
Eclipses of distant stars are now revealing new planets, even other Earths, and affects more than half of NASA's space missions. The SOHO solar satellite is briefly disabled, but records dramatic pictures of the event.
In the satellite images, you can see the energetic particles hitting the detector, and it looks like there's a bunch of snow. So we can actually see the particles.
But there may be more danger in these solar storms than we suspect. We don't yet know how often the big ones happen. But the latest research tells us the worst-case scenario could smash the Earth with a solar wind whose effects could kill millions. Across the depths of the cosmos, whenever moons or planets cross paths with stars, the result is an often revealing and sometimes awe-inspiring spectacle. Here on Earth, man-made artificial eclipses have uncovered solar storms of incomparable violence.
It blasted particles through space that hit the Earth.
The amount of energy being generated in the interior of the sun is just enormous.
Our sun will continue to churn out energy over its entire lifetime, which is estimated to be around 12 billion years.
The moisture in the air is very good at trapping infrared radiation or heat. And so it's sort of like putting a blanket on the Earth. Now here's the bad part. The Earth warms up more, again we trap even more heat, and the effect can run away. It's what we call the greenhouse effect.
With this surge of heat due to the runaway greenhouse effect, life on Earth will be in peril. Whole societies will need to retreat to underground shelters during the day, then emerge at night when the temperature cools down. But as the thermometer continues to climb, there eventually will be nowhere to run or hide. What makes the sun disappear without warning? When does it happen? How can we predict it? Can we make it happen ourselves? Once understood, we find that each eclipse reveals something new about the universe. Even now, we're finding our newest eclipses around distant stars, revealing extrasolar planets, some perhaps twins to the Earth, with the potential for life.
NASA's Spitzer and Swift space telescopes have found a rare brown dwarf in our solar system. Rare brown dwarf in our solar system. Rare brown dwarf in our solar system. Dazzled scientists for quite some time. The discovery could provide new information about how they came into existence. RT's Brigida Santos is live tonight in our LA studio. Brigida, for our audience tonight, let's get clarification. What is a brown dwarf?
And a brown dwarf is believed to be the missing link between stars and planets. Now, they have a mass up to 80 times that of Jupiter. This particular dwarf is about 30 to 65 times the mass of Jupiter. Now, less than 1% of stars that are the size of our sun have a brown dwarf orbiting within a distance 3 times that of the distance between our sun and Earth. This dwarf is more special because they believe that it's actually closer than that in an area that they typically refer to as the brown dwarf desert. This means that that desert may not be as dry as they had initially thought that it was.
Rare brown dwarf in our solar system. Rare brown dwarf in our solar system.
And as they were found, bunches of them started to pop up as looking weird. And they were kind of noted the sun. And we zoom in and around the collections of stars, young stars that are near the sun. So these are color-coded. These stars are all over the place. It's not like they're clumping. You're not seeing clustering of these objects for the most part. They cover some of which, AB Dor is all over the sky in the north and the south. Beta Pictoris, same thing. But in the nearby vicinity of the sun, you get these collections of stars that once you measure their full kinematics, you're able to say that they're moving with each other. And we've been able to go after the higher mass stars in these groups in order to age calibrate them. We have 172 objects in total, 46 of which are young.
The hallmark of the 10th cosmological decade is the fact that stars are burning brightly in the night sky, and also that the planets are beginning to develop life and intelligence on their surfaces.
As our cosmological decade continues, all of the other galaxies disappear from view, and stars begin to die off without being replaced.
Light that's far too red for the human eye to see, then we would actually see that the sky is speckled with dead stars. Dead stars.
Because you've got something like half the mass of our sun, roughly 160,000 times the mass of our Earth, compressed into a volume just the size of the Earth.
But as the dying embers of a white dwarf cool, they still emit many megawatts of power.
But that is vastly, billions, trillions of times less energy than the sun is producing right now.
Even so, the energy emanating from these ancient star remnants is still greater than that consumed today by all human civilization, and transform the nature of the cosmos.
The laws of physics would be different in the wake of this bubble passing. All of chemistry as we know it would be completely different after this phase transition occurred.
Looks like we've had another visitor on the lower limbs of the sun. Remember back in March of 2012, the big sphere that was attached to the lower 7 o'clock position of the sun and detached happened again July 10th, right there. That is a perfectly round sphere. So I've seen enough evidence, guys. There's something here. Too much evidence. I've seen too much evidence now to be in denial. There's definitely something out there.
Snapshots, and then when I came back, from doing the snapshots, because this is what I got. Once I had got it in focus and was taking snapshots, I freaked, friends. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I turned on the video, and this then is what I got. And then later when I turned it off and came back in, I got it as this. Okay, it's the same exact object. You can even still see the outer edges there. I hope you can see my cursor. You can still see the outer edges and the all this just circular, the stuff that's all around whatever this is. Okay, and so then I turned that off and came back with a refocus and got this again. Okay, so this is just to clarify some stuff.
Well, incredible times we're living in. But Becky, I think what you may have captured, it looks identical to me, is a pair of red dwarfs. I don't know how. I'm not an expert on red dwarfs. All I know is I matched the pictures. I remember seeing this picture a few years ago. I'm studying dwarfs when I was chasing something in the sky in 2012.
But now I've caught the object in several frames. Moving forward.
everywhere. Everywhere. And I understand that there's plenty of hoaxes out there, but there's plenty that aren't.
A sundog, but this hexagon cloaking device was found in front of the sun. Yes. So let me show you. So now the sun is behind this cloaking device. Watch what we see here. As the sun sets, we start to see an object here. But wait, right here, do you see this in the upper left? I'll pass this up and down, and you will see as we are looking at possibly a planet or something hidden through a slit as this slice. If I go up and down, you can see that this is a round object hidden perfectly. Look how sharp those lines are. See that? There's the top of the round circle, back and forth. Yep, I know it sounds crazy. But now we'll continue watching the sunset, and we're going to watch two more planets hiding. It's right here. Look at that. If you watch it slowly, you're just going to see two lines. But when you see it in its entirety, those are two. Look at that. Is this the green planet that Steve Olson spotted today? Whoa. Is that planet Helion? And what is this planet again?
Watch this demonstration of why we have a fake sun to begin with. So here it is, and this basically shatters any idea that this is not the fake sun, because when I've got a piece of paper in front of it, you can see that the diameter of the sun is changing. This would be impossible if it was the true sun. Last summer, I videotaped this myself. Watch the fake sun in action. Look how big it is. I want you to keep your eyes focused right here, where we're going to see a subtle eclipse. Now, these days are gone. Now, look at the intense light show up right here in this time lapse. And then look how the sun changes in its size. And what do we have right here? This is Rhianna Jennings and her time-lapse sun videos that anybody can go do this. I want you to notice in this video that there you've got the actual size of the sun, simulator white, the real sun is yellow. And then through the course of time in this video, we can see this thing changing the size. Look, it's a big low altitude chemtrails. There's your big sun again. Look at this thumbnail print. Look at this thing. It's like a flashlight effect. It's so fake. This thing should have retained its same size. Absolutely impossible. The light of the true sun. Watch how this affects this flashlight thing. Look at that. Thank you. That's amazing. Ice crystals. On a warm summer day, you're still going to call them ice crystals in the summertime? When these 10,000 clouds, chemtrail clouds, where are the rainbow colors? Now watch carefully. Look at the sun change size. You could also see the uneven light. Some of these are very telling. Look at this thing fluctuate. Let's watch this one. This one's pretty damning, that this thing is actually an eclipse. Now watch. Now here would be the actual sun. And how come it doesn't change size? Wow. Do you see that? Look how small the sun suddenly got over a thin layer of clouds. High altitude clouds, low altitude clouds, even lower altitude clouds. See, that's why I want to spray even lower, because there's objects flying around the sun. If you got lower chemtrails, you've got a bigger sun that these planets can hide in the brightness of the sun.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 of which I've predicted now. The last 5 which I've predicted exactly when. Maybe I've been 4 days out at the most. But we've got past all of those flybys so far pretty much unscathed.
Just moves with it the whole way. There's the ocean from below. Still moving. Constant speed.
The Matt Rogers shot on the 15th of August 2016 last year, and what was the other incredible one? Well, the 21st of January 2017, and now of course I predicted that. 14th of October 2013, then we had the 23rd of November 2014, and that was quite an amazing shot. Then we had the 8th of June 2015. There was a kind of 198-day, 200-day cycle. I started piecing together, I started piecing together in various animation packages just to try and work out the maths of this cycle and how it all fitted together and find a way to fit it all together. Of course, we just didn't know. We would know this roughly by the size of it, but on the 22nd of December 2015 that it would fly by and it would be big, there'd be flood. So I said on the 22nd, and then we had on the 20th of December 2015. And on the 24th of December 2015.
What the hell is that? December 24th, 2015. Central Indiana, this is Becky Lewis. Oh my freaking God. Are you kidding me? Sally, bar the doors. That is no freaking airplane, friends. Let me tell you, that is no freaking airplane. That's in the southeast, where I always get the red glow. Holy God. I am just tripping out. What the frick? Oh my freaking gosh. Friends, it is gonna go behind that stuff and I won't be able to see it anymore. Oh my gosh.
That point would cease to be closest to the sun because it would also be moving away from the sun with the whole system. So I put this out on the 29th of March 2016 that we would see it, it would pop into view, and sure enough it popped into view. That's when I was really beginning to triangulate the position of Nemesis itself, the dwarf planet. So we were right next to it then, but still the whole, if you like, the whole orbital of between Earth and the Sun, even though it's dropping, the whole system is dropping below our solar system. The last part of it to drop through is that top orbital pathway of
I just can't help but feel so grateful to be here.
and then it's heading, it's in our night sky at that point, but it's illuminated, and it's going to start heading in towards Earth. But as I'm seeing it, I think we're going to be quite far away from the planet Nibiru itself, and around Nemesis. And I know that's a bit awkward to us, is if we have to then take 50 days from the 21st of the 2nd, 2018, which brings us to the 2nd of January 2018. If we're going to get an eclipse from this, and a really close flyby that the crew just carried on and went straight past it, which means that though we go straight through the line of this, if you like, its orbital line, we go straight across it, we're at the least place, we're right at the other end. You know, it's literally, but when I started discovering this thing and flying by, you know, I started panicking, and I kept having coming back to that. And where I asked, I said, it misses, doesn't it? And the answer I got was literally, yes, it misses. Word for word, this is, yes, it misses. It is deemed you are not a planet of war.
The severe wobble that starts the last weeks is a flinging back and forth of the North Pole of Earth. This severe wobble lasts for 9 days. The North Pole of Earth thus flings away when the magnetic North Pole of Earth comes up over the horizon, and then rebounds back 12 hours later. The severe wobble, thus, will merely be an exaggeration of the existing wobble. Then the Earth assumes a static lean to the left for 4.5 days. Laying on her side, her magnetic North Pole pushes to the west, laying her hemispheres out for an equal basking under the sun. Then the Earth gradually slings her North Pole away for a 2.5-day progression toward the 3 days of darkness, then rolling further into the 6 days of sunrise west predicted in Islam. As Planet X continues in its retrograde orbit, its North Pole is no longer located to the left of the Earth, and the Earth adjusts by slinging its North Pole to the right. Thus, during the 6 days of sunrise west, the Earth has a lean to the right. Venus escapes the cup, the dark twin escapes the cup, and the dance of many becomes a deadlock grip by Planet X on the Earth. Then the Earth rights herself side by side with Planet X and begins her rotation slowdown for a period of 18 days. It is during this time that the Earth is drawn toward Planet X, so that Planet X quickly increases in size in the skies and is the writhing monster of legend. The Earth moans, groans, and complains as the core pulls at the crust, but the crust is gripped increasingly and held by Planet X. The slowing is a lurching matter too, as when the Atlantic Rift is exposed, the grip slows the rotation, but when hidden, rotation tries to return. Emergency management teams are beyond exhaustion, government services in disarray, and travel has become almost impossible. The Earth slows in its rotation and actually stops. This is recorded in written history and spoken folklore worldwide as a long day or night. Rotation stops with the Atlantic Rift facing Planet X. Therefore, the long day described by Joshua and the long night described by the West Coast Indian. Rotation is stopped for 5.9 days. During this week, the size of the approaching Planet X horrifies those on the daylight side of the Earth. At first a reddish blob only a fraction of the size of the moon, it grows in size and appears to twist and turn like a dragon in the sky. The ancients recorded this as a fire dragon in the sky, as the tail of swirling moons gave this appearance. The North Pole of Planet X grabs the South Pole of Earth and tips the globe 90 degrees. After the passage, Planet X exits as quickly as it approached. The crust is dragged over minutes to a new location, along with the core. All told, the better part of an hour. Weak spots along the Earth's crustal plates give way. The Pacific Ocean will shorten and the Atlantic widen. Subducting plates will subduct greatly. Mountain building will occur suddenly. Rotation restarts, at first slowly, but then picking up speed until a day on planet Earth is much as it used to be. Just as rotation stops within a day, just so rotation returns within a day, much to the relief of the frantic survivors who fear the long day or night they have been experiencing will never end.
At a few other models, but I want to make everyone aware that this is a very serious situation that we see right now with our magnetopause. The line that you see here that's making all of the erratic movements, this is our bow shock, as they call it. It should be in a nice arc around our planet. As you can see, it's completely contorted, and what you're looking at are possible reversals. Right up here, you're looking at the solar wind. This is in kilometers per second. Pay very close attention to the number up here. it is reaching well over 2,100 kilometers per second. That is way over 3 million miles per hour. What you're seeing is the complete collapse of our bow shock and our magnetosphere, and you're seeing very intense pulses of solar energy coming in. We're going to see a complete collapse of our magnetosphere and a complete collapse of the bow shock. These are definitely anywhere near normal conditions. And I would have to say this is just about as bad as I've ever seen. I've never seen it this erratic. I mean, I've seen some intense solar energy impact our planet, but I've never seen anything like this. You can see these levels are kind of moderate. You can see the radiation coming in, and then it fades to red. Very, very intense situations. And then you start to see that bow shock right here start to make the complete reversal. Very, very intense situations, ladies and gentlemen. Very intense. As I stated before, we are going to stay on top of this situation all day today,